wanted to use really short.
We need to understand that for non-violent people who have broken the law, that our interest is getting them back to be citizens, not getting them in situations to be trained to be criminals, that many of the experiments underway around the country are remarkable. There is an astonishing, and Steve Moore and Art Laffer just produced a book on blue versus red states. There is an astonishing movement, and this would go against anything any intellectual would have thought in 1990. The great movement for fundamental reform on behalf of better treatment of people who are prisoners is all in the red states. It's all in the Mississippis and in the South Dakotas and in the Texas. I mean, it is amazing how many places have smart activities underway and are building a genuine reform movement, which will eventually someday in the next 50 years get to New York City. But it's not starting in the places you would have thought ideologically would have been the center of it, partially because of the power of organized unions and their inability to change and adapt, and partially just because the people who are willing to be daring and ideal-oriented today tend to be in the red states. They tend to be people like Governor Perry, who just talked to us. So I am very, very excited to be here. I will close with these two observations. Carly Fiorina has been working with us on a concept called breakout. And she has a very good formula for all of you to use as you think about the future of dealing with people who've been incarcerated or people who've broken the law. She says the 21st century will be digital, mobile, virtual, and personal. It's a very important concept. Just think of your smartphone. The real power of the 21st century will be digital, it'll be mobile, it'll have virtual capability, and it'll be personal. Now, why do I bring this up? I'll give you two quick examples, and then I'm going to yield to the Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi to be and talk to us about what's been happening there, where they've had a very, very exciting reform movement underway. But here are my two observations. We have it for the 2 out of 3 groups I mentioned earlier, that is, the non-violent, non-criminal elements who happen to be in prison. We have the potential, one, to do a lot bolder parole processes with real-time, 24-hour-a-day contact, and rethink the entire parole process to put it into a digitized, very personal, expert system model that is unlike anything we've ever dreamed of before. It gives us a huge potential also to reach out to volunteer groups, to have churches, for example, that say we will adopt and help 4 prisoners re-enter society, and to begin to really build a public-private partnership on a scale that's a violation of all the last 60 years' effort to professionalize and unionize anything which is government. Second, we have the ability to identify for each individual nonviolent criminal what it is they need to learn in order to re-enter society successfully. And we have the ability to connect them with people outside of prison in a structured and controlled way, using these kind of digital tools in ways that would have seemed impossible a decade ago. Remember, the Khan Academy has 10 million visitors for free every month, teaching them math and science. Duolingo teaches 7 different languages for free. There are things happening out there today that make it possible for us to have real transformation and to really rethink from the ground up. We have just begun this movement. I think it is going to flourish over the next 20 years, and I think ultimately it's going to lead us to minimize the number of people in prison, to largely restrict that to the people who are really violent, and to find a variety of very effective ways to retrain, reorient, and re-educate people so that they become fruitful citizens again, despite having made a mistake in their lives.